We'll leave that in the Patreon.
These are a bunch of bullies, actually.
Yeah, okay. Hello everybody and welcome back to the first, actually, live episode of the Backseat Climbing Podcast. Today, we have our very first guest. Of course, I'm joined by the GOAT, Solly KD, back here again. But we have our very first guest, Mr. Leo Skinner. Welcome to the show, mate.
Oh, hello, boys. It's nice to be on the podcast, you know. I'm a big fan, long-time fan.
Yeah.
You know?
I suppose before we get into this week's episode, last week's episode has disappeared from the internet. Kind of. Kind of. If you know where to look, it might still be available. But, yeah, we fucked up last episode.
We poked the wrong bear.
We poked the wrong bear. We got a few facts wrong here and there. Apologies to anybody that got offended. You know, like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we didn't mean to harm anybody. But however, we're still going to go on the podcast. Don't think this is going to deter us.
Oh,
viewers.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Thick-skinned.
Thick-skinned. Yeah. But yeah, we weren't trying to bully anyone.
No, not bullying. We're not going to name any names. We're going to leave it at that.
If you want to find out about all of this and like all the drama, go to UK Bouldering. If you know where to look, you'll be able to find it pretty easily. It has spawned actually quite an interesting thread, which is the Dark Arts of Development thread, which last I looked has devolved quite a lot.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting topic in general, though. Like the ethics and what it is.
Because you do a lot of developing, don't you?
Yeah, just in developing. I mean, I've never done any of the stuff stated in there, personally. But I can understand some of it, but other stuff I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. And to shine some light on the situation, we're talking about developing and using glue and manufacturing boulders and crags to make them maybe more accessible or suited in one way or another. Most of the time it's used for reinforcement of holds, which has its own case.
Yeah.
But
I think we had this discussion earlier in the car. We'll talk about our ill-fated crag trip today. But we talked about it earlier in the car. But I think more so our point is that I think just more community engagement is like really
being open about actually what's being done in the
because
community.
they call it the dark arts, but it shouldn't. I don't think it should be the dark arts.
Yeah.
Bring it to the light.
You kind of need a consensus on what's right and what's wrong. Otherwise, you don't know what's right, because everyone's going to have a slightly different opinion. It might be like basically the same, like generally, but yeah.
I think from what I understand, we got some facts wrong, but I think that our premise more likely, and what is quite nice is there is a discussion now that's come to light. Granted, it has sort of diverged from that, but I think just like more community engagement with it. Like, I appreciate, some of it does need to be kept dark because of land ownership and whatnot, but in some cases, I think just more community engagement. You had a really good example actually on the South Coast with that roof.
Yeah, so down in South on the Revolution is Nigh block, St Catherine's Point, we had a hold come off. Revolution is coming, and it's a critical hold because there was basically four original boulders, and like there's two straight ups, and then they traverse into each other, so they link up into each other, and this one hold basically killed three of them off because they all used it. And we had a massive debate whether it should be glued back on or not, and I could do the boulder without, so I was kind of like, well, I don't see the point in it, but everyone came to the consensus that it's better for the area having that hold on, and it got glued back on. It was done very well, so it's not really noticeable, but that was a whole debate in itself, kind of thing.
Because that's like a whole nother thing as well. Like, if you glue a hold on and it's a bad glue job, also, does that raise the question, should you then remove the hold and then redo the glue job?
That's a whole another can of worms.
It is, but no one's spoken about it.
Because there are glue jobs, like, I think a really good example of this is the Isle Sit hold that Ned glued.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
You two, like especially, actually, very prolifically have put a lot of time into this, and were basically not aware of the fact that this had been glued. That was a really good glue job.
Which hold was it? Was it
There's one of the start-sit holds.
on the Gaston?
The left-hand one.
Yeah, I don't want to like
Yeah,
speculate on this.
Yeah, we'll
I
leave it at that.
guess one of them was
I
glued.
can't remember, but
Potentially.
one of them is glued, and like that was a really good glue job. But as we've seen,
But again, I think wasn't that full reinforcement?
yeah, no,
so,
I'm not like
Yeah. So like
Just to
reinforcement.
reiterate, reinforcement.
yeah. Also has the added benefit of Seeker doesn't seep.
Yes.
And so, like, it probably I don't think he intended this at all, but I think in reinforcing the hold, you have also made it so the hold is like more conditions, reinforced and
less conditions dependent.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, no, I think yeah, we fucked up a bit last episode, and I think we've talked this out personally. But I guess now on the podcast we have probably our number one choice of guest.
Were you about to say the goat?
It
sounded like you were going to say the goat.
look, you're one of like the South Wales prolific.
Oh yeah.
prolific
I mean, this is the man that did Skindog Start.
Oh,
we are
yeah.
talking about.
That is North Wales though. I had to travel northwards for that one.
Yeah, so I guess
Knows no bounds.
the main reason or kind of main topic of conversation was like you like originate from like a sort of less talked about. When we think of the big names in climbing, with Lakes, North Wales, Peak, and then like recently South Coast, but like South Wales, bit of an underrated don.
Yeah. There's quite a good scene down there, especially at the moment in the last few years. Originally, like there was like older development from like a lot of the old boys, and then like Liam Fife was like quite a prolific developer down there. Did a lot of stuff. A little bit of controversy with all that, but he put in a lot of work. Like it was mainly just the grades he got wrong.
Classic.
But yeah.
He is a legend.
He is a legend. The man is a living legend. To be fair,
Yeah.
did a lot for the scene. Some people don't like him. Some people love him.
I think that's most people, like most
quite a
prolific
polarising figure,
developers.
isn't he?
Like as much as like you could develop like 100 really good boulders and then get it wrong once, and I don't think your name should be tarnished for that, but you can get you can kind of fuck it up, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's quite cool that he put in a lot of work, and then because of the work he put in, obviously, climbers like Elliot Stevens, really good South Wales boulderer. Morgan Priest, he coached me growing up. He's also a really strong boulderer from South Wales, and then like more recently, like me, I kind of came through, and then even more recently than that, then like people like, obviously you, Solly, you moved there. Yeah, you're a South Wales warrior.
SW King. Well, no, not that SW.
Which SW?
Yeah, which is
Both.
Intertwine both the SWs into one crew.
It should be. It's good scenes down there. It really is. I think the climbing is underrated. There are sections that are really good. I think it has the same issue of the Southwest where everything's like spread out. In comparison to like the Lakes or the Peak, you've got 20 plus crags within a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
Whereas like in South Wales, you've got Dinas and then like not that far away, but like Neath, and then Ogmore is an hour drive from them. Then you got the Gower, which is like
and then you got the west stuff that's
and then you got
really
all the stuff in the west,
like
and even like the
Newgale.
stuff in the west, like Newgale in comparison to Preseli, they are like a 45-minute drive, but it's
but it
the
seems
same
close.
area.
It
Yeah,
seems close.
so close.
Yeah, I guess when you're used to driving that far,
Yeah.
Because like when I was trying Tempest, it was like two and a bit hours.
Class.
I think you also have to like the Peak is pretty dense, but I think even with North Wales, like you forget how long to be driving.
North
days.
Wales is a lot of distance.
Yeah,
between
and the lakes
drives.
as well. Like the distance from the stuff in the north to the south is actually really far.
Yeah, but there's stuff in between. That's like
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
So you're saying there's like hot spots of rock.
Yeah.
I guess that's the deal with the UK bouldering though. Like I guess that's why it's. I mean, obviously the weather's a major like downside in the UK, but as opposed to like the other bouldering areas in Europe, like if you go to like Magic Wood or Brione or something, everything's just right next to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to the UK, you got to drive, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse.
I think you say this though, but we'll have an American respond to this podcast. I know of an American who moved to Arizona, so he's closer to bouldering, and he's 4 hours drive one way.
But you got to
crag.
think they're straight. They have like a good like road infrastructure was in the UK. Just like South Wales to North Wales isn't that far, but it's this windy ass road, and you just get stuck on a tractor, and you can't overtake because obviously it's a bendy road unless you're a bit ballsy, you know, or you got a nice car, which most climbers don't. Because a lot of climbers are quite broke.
Yeah, go on. Tell them about for the uninitiated. Go on, tell each other about the whip. So go on, Leo.
What about what?
Your car.
Oh, my car. Okay, we'll start off with my car. So, my car's actually alright. The Suzuki Swift.
Is she swift?
She is swift. It's actually quite good in the lower gears. But
what about the colony on the top?
Oh, oh god, it needs a clean on the top. It's like a petri dish. It's like got loads of different like species growing out.
And your car had a very mysterious breakdown last week.
Yeah,
mysterious
indeed. It's finally been fixed along with my laptop. I've been just like up shit's creek from it, but. Basically, I was just running out of fuel, and the gauge was saying that I still had fuel, and I was just like, and none of the mechanics was like could work out what the issue was, and then we just put in like 10 quid's worth of fuel, and it was running. And we were just like, okay, well, I guess I'll just keep more fuel in.
How much did you buy this car for? Sorry,
like 500 quid.
It's older than me and Leo.
Oh yeah, it's so old.
Yeah.
It's
like
like
age as me.
It's like O2 play.
No, it's 2001.
Oh.
Best year to be born.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
The Ford Fiesta. Well, actually, it's the backseat grading.
Yeah. We rebranded it.
The sticker on the front.
Yes.
If you do you both think, actually, this question for both of you, do you think South Wales benefits from the lack of traffic it gets? Like in the sense that less people.
Dinas gets a lot of traffic.
Yeah, it does.
Everything else. I mean, the Ogmore Boulder has gotten a lot of traffic recently. I haven't been there for a while.
It gets some traffic.
Have you been there recently? Is it?
Yeah, I've been there recently, and I'm not climbing, but just going and like spotting Dom, and it was just there's just people turning up, and they're like, oh, what's this? And then they go off, and it's just like it's so well known about now, and it's like a cool venue. I think that the Trench is underrated in comparison to like
no
the
one
block.
goes to the Trench. Do they?
Yeah, it's got the South Wales' best block at.
Which one? Scoop Dragon.
Scoop Dragon that Leo Skinner can't even do.
Full government name. I could not do Scoop Dragon. This is correct. However, I will come back stronger. It's 6B. I reckon I could maybe do it now. After a full training cycle.
Which training cycle? Which one are you on?
The overreach.
Overreach. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I think like one thing. Obviously, we're all like relatively good friends, but the one thing I've noted about you, Leo, is your prolific hate of the Peak District as opposed to.
I don't hate the Peak District. I just think it's got a lot of hype, whereas it kind of doesn't deserve it compared to the other areas in the UK. So, like for example, I enjoy South Wales climbing kind of more. Not like I was a big hater of the grit when I first came up, mainly because I was absolute dog shit on it.
What has he ever done on grit?
Oh, I've done A+ on grit, mate.
Oh, what A+ have you done?
8 ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
8 ball at Gardens. Gets 8B by some people.
Jeez.
Well, I'm not soft, so you know. Sit the lower grade.
Where would and the Nowest, for those of you who don't know, is 70 plus?
Yeah, so the Nowest is like this really, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70 plus in South Wales.
Would you say that's like the best, like approachable boulder in
South Wales?
Best approachable? What do you
like
mean?
in the sense that there's not 8C, 8B.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I mean, it's probably the best boulder anywhere. Is it?
No, I'd say Scoop Dragon's the best boulder.
You reckon?
I think Nowest is better.
Do you think Scoop Dragon is better than like Not to Be Taken Away and like the classics in the Peak?
Yeah, it's better than Not to Be Taken Away. It may not be as good as Crescent or Rat.
I think Not to Be Taken Away is better than Crescent or Rat though.
What do you mean now though?
Like the stuff at Sandwich is pretty fucked.
Is it? What's happened to it?
It's just polished.
Just
I mean,
polished.
when did you do it first?
Oh,
A long time ago.
Probably coming on 10 years ago now.
Oh god, you old fuck. Yeah. I think the Nowest is better than a lot of the.
Let me name
not
what.
the best.
Do you think it's better than West Side Story?
Yes.
Do you think it's better than Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Do you think it's better than Renegade?
I've not been on Renegade, so I can't comment. But there's a lot of Seeker in Renegade, which kind of...
Fucking hell, this podcast.
This one's going to only last a couple of days as well.
No, but that's not... It's just... I mean, that was reinforcement, though, from what I've heard.
Yeah, and we won't speculate
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I'm not saying that's a bad job or anything, but when there is Seeker that's visible, it can be off-putting.
I suspect a lot of the Seeker on the lower grade classics on the grid is necessary.
Is there a Seeker on lower grade class? I don't think that.
I
don't do many.
Aside from Renegade, I know one other problem.
What, are you a grade chaser, Leo?
I am. I'm a prolific grade
Have
chaser.
you heard about the guy that on through his post was like, for the 8B merchant is bad?
Yeah, some guy commented on my YouTube because it was when we went to Swiss, sorry. And, I put that video out of us doing stuff, and we basically just did 8B. Nice. And some guy was like, "Oh, Leo Skinner's the 8B merchant," and I was like, I mean, there's worse things to be than an 8B merchant.
It should be the 7A merchant.
I think Tim Blake's the real 8B merchant.
Oh, he's done so many 8Bs.
I remember, on the climbing history thing, because generally our rule of thumb is FA's first repeats, and then your highest year grade, and it would be oh, Tim's done another 8B, to the point where on the British list, his thing was 3 lines long.
Yeah, thank God he did another 8B.
Yeah.
He did an 8B plus, because his 8B list was getting so big it wouldn't fit on the table on the climbing history.
We had a bug at one point when we added the schoolroom where it started adding for whatever reason random people's it would add Aidan Roberts twice on the list. He'd be at the top, but then also all the 8Bs he'd done another Aidan Roberts would be 100th on the list, and Aidan Roberts has done for whatever reason there's probably 100 8Bs he's done beneath him.
Jesus
Christ. It was
was
ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember I tried to load up Aiden's page once on Climb History, and it wouldn't load because there was so many problems.
Ondra had that problem as well. We since Rebus has put in some work to fix it, but yeah, some of the fucking people on there.
God, imagine climbing that many problems that your page doesn't load.
I don't know, significant problems as well. Yeah.
We should get Remus on the pod.
We fucking should actually. Yeah.
I bet he knows a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not that good at rattling stuff off though, because I said he should come to the Works pub quiz because he probably would win, and he was like, oh, maybe not, but yeah, he would actually be pretty gas on
Maybe he's just scared of the pints.
Yeah, maybe.
Should we try and get him out?
Oh, I don't know. Respond, Remus. But yeah, no. Tim, some of the recent stuff he's done is. I feel like I've spoken a lot about Tim recently because I really think he deserves quite a lot of credit.
Tim needs a lot more credit because Tim's so good. I've only climbed with him a couple times, but he is so good.
Yeah.
I don't want to glaze, but he is very, very good.
Yeah.
And underrated because for a while the hardest thing he'd done was 8B. Obviously, like you mentioned, he'd just done so many that it wouldn't fit in the table.
But they were all the best fucking 8Bs in the country.
A lot of them are good.
And
a lot of
some
them
of the hardest.
And FAs as well. Doing first ascents. I think that's because it takes so much more dedication.
Yeah, because we had a chat about this, didn't we, when Hamish did all of his stuff, and I was like, what do you reckon the effort thing is? But with Timmy, he'd done so many 8B FAs.
Maybe clear up what Hamish actually did, in case. I mean, people probably know.
Yeah, well, he did 2 9As fucking insanely quickly, but
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, speaking of the 9A front, actually, this was our other topic for the thing. We've just watched Nikolai's. What's his name? Uzik?
Nikolai Uznik.
Yeah. He did an FA called Mount Doom in Austria, in
Malta, I think.
Yeah. It's near Bugeleisen.
Yeah, so
Bugeleisen's in Malta.
Yeah. Near there. That's the
Our facts may not be 100% correct in this podcast.
Yeah, but
we may need to fact check before we put this out.
But near fucking there, in Austria.
In Austria, somewhere in Austria.
Maybe in Europe.
We'll go with Europe.
Yeah. But he did this FA. It looked, alright. And then
it looked alright.
I mean,
the boulder looks alright.
Yeah,
the boulder does look good. It looks like
fucking long.
It is long.
It's long, but you can't really take that away from it unless it's Grand Illusion long.
The knee bar drop knee actually kind of looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but the video.
It
was a bit.
Well, we should give it context. We watched this and then the Bosey Excalibur video back to back, and. First, they were very different.
Complete opposite ends of the spectrum here.
I'm sure many of you listening actually will have done the same.
Yeah, because they released it basically the same time.
Same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the thoughts, chaps?
Well, the Bosey video I thought was better than the Mount Doom video.
Yeah.
Overall, but it was a bit goofy.
Yeah.
Which goofy can be good.
There was some good bits to
There was some good
The
bit.
bit where he plays Counter Strike.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, we were hyped.
we were hoping for some trick shots. And some real clips in there.
More CS:GO footage, please. Next time.
Yeah, maybe on the 9A he's just done. We can get some CS:GO edits.
That would be heat.
It is 4 moves, so there's not that much to show.
Well, each one
that's how you get.
Yeah,
That's how you get the ad revenue.
Imagine how gas that would be. Like halfway through his 9A video, it's just an AWP montage.
Mom, get the camera.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, I think they were very different in the sense. I think Nikolai's video was very like dark room. We'll interview him, like break down the beta. In my opinion, it's not one of the best Mellow videos ever made. I think when you go too much into the beta of a problem, most people aren't going to try. It's not particularly interesting.
Well, I think that, like they discussed the beta, but it's not like it's like so in depth that I don't really care a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think the issue is so like when Nathaniel did it for No One Wants Mickey, he was just doing it for a single move.
Yeah.
Whereas this, he was breaking down the boulder of like a 20 move problem. And it's like I'm getting lost now.
Yeah. But then even for the Nathaniel, because you could argue that it's like he's breaking down one move for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
True.
Like you're doing the move in real time. How quick are you doing the move? Like you don't have time to think about all of this. It's happening like.
I didn't rate
automatically.
the Nathaniel, not just the boulder, but not just the footage, but also the boulder. I didn't rate that highly. I think
this is No One Warns the Wicked, by the way.
Yeah, the 9A. Well, it might not be 9A actually. After the fucking.
Nah, you got to give Hamish his props. To be fair.
Yeah, but I don't.
It is mad. He did that
in my opinion, when we're as like a collective climb,
you are the backseat creator.
Yeah, but like 9A in a session is ridiculous. Like the hardest level in our sport done in 2 hours is
that is crazy.
That is crazy.
I couldn't, even if I did a cycle of steroids, I wouldn't be like. I don't think I could ever dream of doing that. You know?
I genuinely think you could put like the gravitational pull of the Earth to like 7, and I think there's a lot of climbers that couldn't do that.
Yeah.
That is crazy, but I don't know. I think they were very different videos, and it was slightly polarizing to watch them back to back. But
and we finished it off with watching a WoW video.
We did,
and that was probably the best.
Yeah, that's shout out the WoW climbing crew.
Yeah, fucking
absolute
boys,
goats.
yeah.
They sent us. Matt, you're actually wearing the
t-shirt.
Pizza all over it.
Yeah. Shout out to the WoW boys.
We're the only people in Europe with these shirts as well.
We may probably
UK certainly.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine who else.
Shout out Everest for sending me the t-shirts.
Yeah,
My goat.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good, that video. I think but I think our conclusion was the voiceover was a bit weird and kind of went on for a little bit too long.
Yeah, if it was just the intro.
Yeah.
And maybe the outro.
Yeah.
Because it also seemed like
throughout the video.
It seemed like there wasn't any specific crux move, or at least that's what I gathered from it. It seemed like it was like, you're plodding along. All the moves are it's a sustained climb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you don't really need to like explain in depth what's going on.
It was a bit like he was working moves and then Counter-Strike montage. His girlfriend putting a fucking mask on.
I was talking about the.
Yeah, you're talking about two different videos.
Because like the Bozy video didn't explain in too much detail.
Yeah,
I don't think he did.
But I thought he was a bit like he was doing trying it, rained, mask on, trying a bit more, and then bloody hell he did it.
I think there was a bit too much focus on the rain.
Yeah.
But I guess that was his whole. That was
his
whole
true
experience. That was the experience he had. Is rain.
To be clear, especially the Bozy one, I think it was shot really, really well.
It was actually
The filming was very
on both
impressive.
of them. I think the filming was.
Yeah.
I think on Bozy it's a lot better.
I think it's hard to make that boulder look good because it is in a hole.
Yes.
Like what other angles could they have taken?
Get on a ladder.
Yeah, but they did. They clearly were.
Get
they were
the GoPro on his head.
Yeah,
but
POV.
I feel like a lot of films these days, like in climbing especially, just in climbing, they try and drag films out longer than they need to be a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
because they're like 15 minutes and 16 minutes a piece for. How long were they actually doing the boulder for? A minute.
Yeah, and it's a repeat and a FA.
Yeah, and it's like I get it if there's a big story behind it and it's like a really personal thing to you. And like you've gone through, trials and tribulations or whatever.
I guess the thing is that they have. But
they have, but they don't show it in the video yet. It's still too long.
I think giving a wider context is like, for example, a really good example is the Carlo Dark Side video. We've all seen the footage of other people doing, like Aiden doing the Dark Side. But that video was like a whole love letter to Yosemite bouldering, and like it gave the context of why the Dark Side was significant.
That seemed like one of the more old school climbing films, like the stuff from like I don't know, like Dosage.
I haven't actually watched it yet.
Yeah.
So
Have you not?
I
You need to watch that.
It is good. It is
You need to
generally
catch up.
Carlo controversy back at it again.
Yeah.
Controversy. It's so good. Carlo controversy.
Yeah. Fucking hell, he's never listened to this.
If he does,
Yeah.
I want
Come
him
on, Carlo.
I want him on my side. I like Carlo, man. Carlo's
Yeah.
sick. Like
Yeah,
the
he's a legend.
Swiss account is legendary.
Oh.
Heritage. One of my favourite climbing videos.
Yeah, I always
Like-
think though the best climbing films are the one that is like the most authentic. Like the original Magic Wood one where Dave Graham like bangs on Daniel Woods' car. And he's like, "Do you want to go climbing, dude?" It's so good, it's brilliant.
It's just a bit more character. Like I don't
Yeah.
really care about the moves that much. I'm watching the moves happen in the footage.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
need to tell me.
I'd rather know more about the person or the
Yeah.
trip itself
Yeah.
rather than
Like a good example, as you were saying earlier, was the recent Zach Gala Through the Storm.
Yeah, but that didn't show like too much of their personality. But it was
Yeah, but it
basically
had
just
a little
climbing.
bit more character
It was
than
them
the
just
average video at the minute.
Yeah, it was them arsing around and it was them climbing.
I think that's what, like, for
Which is
me,
what
that's
you
what I
want.
want to see. I want to see people.
Yeah,
just
I
It's
don't-
why
wow.
Woe is so good inherently.
Yeah.
Like,
Because they show
yeah.
that. It's the real thing isn't like one of the best climbing movies of all time because of the climbing. The
No.
climbing's really good, obviously.
It's because Jerry's just being a wanker. most of the
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's charismatic with it, so he can get away with it. You know?
Also,
That's
to be fair, it was a
exactly
different time. You couldn't rally round Font like they were. But I'm not.
I mean,
saying-
you could.
I mean, you could if you don't get caught.
But again, like the Swiss account, like going back to Carlo, like why you think that is so good is because the bit where he gets the fucking €400 speeding ticket, and
Yeah,
shit like that, it's all
yeah.
quite iconic. Like,
It is iconic, that, yeah.
yeah, I think it's like when you go on these trips, it's like you want to feel like you're not just there for the climbing, but for like all of it. A lot of my, like when we went to Magic Wood recently, some of my favourite bits of that trip were completely outside of the climbing. We say this is
Especially for me. Didn't climb a single boulder.
oh, fucking barely did I, mate. But just like fucking around in like the flat and like going to Lidl and the spa that you know all too well. And
The spa was good. Going in the foot bath because it was cold. Doing
oh,
the
God,
ice
you
bath.
can tell them that. Do you know about this?
You know the foot bath. And
Oh,
the,
you were
and the
lying
mineral
in that,
bath.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we should go do a little ice bath. And then
Compliment.
you were like properly against it.
Yeah.
And I managed to convince you to do it, and it is we was like lying in this foot bath when no one was in it, and then just sprint into the hot pool.
Yeah. Bearing in mind, this is like the most conservative country in the world, and the families everywhere, and all these people, and Leo is lying in the foot bath.
It's like,
He's top of
Don't know why you're laughing, mate. I lasted longer than you.
we didn't want to pay for the towels either, so we sat under the clothes dryers.
We sat under like the hand and clothes dryers and just dried ourselves off for ages.
oh mate, that's jokes.
Yeah, but yeah. No, I think a lot of like climbing movies, like it's why I think all three of us like hold the Doilo videos in such high regard. Is the Doilo videos realistically aren't about the climbing?
No.
Yeah, the Doilo videos are some of the best. They're like probably a bit too much for a lot of people.
I'd appreciate that. Some of them
But-
aren't though. Like I think West
Some
Coast
of them aren't.
West Coast Gimps. Like realistically, I think most people would hold that in quite high regard. In the sense that yeah, there is the bullshittery, but like
Yeah, I think
intertwi-
Stone Love is probably a bit too far for a lot of people.
Like
And the cock
I think he-
stuff.
yeah. I think like the G stuff, like the Gone Are the Days of the G and whatnot. Like yeah, definitely too much.
I don't think that's too much because they're not doing anything offensive.
No,
might
but it
be
is a
like-
lot of shithousery though, isn't it? Like
It is a bit shithousery, but at the end of the day, it's all light-hearted. It's all fun.
yeah, no, obviously I'm not saying he's a fucking terrible person because his videos, but I'm saying like if you're just like a fucking average climber, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? But
Yeah.
if you watch like West Coast Gimps, you're like, oh, this is quite like it's just like young people on holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stoned Love, I do agree, is quite bad.
Yeah, because like, isn't that the one where they're like naked in the snow? No, that's a different one, isn't it? Where they're like naked in the snow.
That's the one where they go to Switzerland.
Yeah, the Power and the Glory.
Yeah.
That's probably my favourite climbing film, even though it's pretty like crude and Like
the interesting,
crazy.
The really interesting thing about the Power and the Glory. Have you seen this, Solly?
I probably have, but
It's got like Ty Lambert in it, Daiku Murder.
It's really interesting because they were the
Stoller
first.
video.
They were basically the first Brits and first tourists to be in Switzerland in like Creche and all of this. So it's when a lot of this stuff hadn't been done. I think in the video, like one of them gets like one of the first repeats of Freak Brothers and stuff.
I think actually it's probably after Stone Love though.
Yeah, it's after Stone Love.
So like the first British people since then to go.
Yeah, no, like but they didn't go to Creche and that. They go to Magic Wood.
No, they do. They go to Crash for a little bit.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, no,
like Jerry and that lot went, didn't they, and Mark?
Yeah,
Because they do Le Preux.
They do Le Preux. They do like Le Boule, all the old school stuff.
Yeah,
which is apparently really hard.
Because there's that he filmed Sharma in Stone Love on Neverending Story, didn't he?
Does he?
Yeah, there's a video of him on Neverending Story yeah.
I can't remember.
I don't think he does it in it, but there's footage of him on it.
I just remember Ty Lambert just like being the goat, as he always is.
Yeah,
was
true.
Ty in Wales as well.
Ty in Wales is a banger.
Yeah, that's like not crude at all, really. It's just got some banging.
It's just got DC, just Danny Cattell the goat, just like he's like, I believe in G, don't hurt nobody.
Yeah.
the Gaskins lore is just too much. I love it. But it's everywhere in the UK.
Yeah, it is.
You can't get away from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people, especially like slightly older than our generation, are like slightly hesitant to talk about Gaskins. But I think partly because we weren't there at the time, I think it is quite funny now. Yeah. Like, because we've moved past it. Like it is.
Yeah. It is quite. The thing is, you can look at it from 2 points of view. Realistically, you can be really serious about it, and you can go, "Oh, I fucked it up." But then he might have also done it. So then you're like.
Can I give you the hypothetical of like you two?
Okay.
What
I'm still a believer in G.
What would you do if he did it? Like if he had done Shadowplay in its current form, like Bosey and Roberts and Varian and all these good climbers couldn't touch it. Like what would be the scenes if he was like, here's the footage, like it was visible.
On his deathbed, he just drops the.
Well, yeah. On his deathbed, like it's in 10 years. Like the scenes.
That it would be insane.
I don't know. What can I do? He's already dead. I can't party with him. I can't.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, get on
No, he's not his deathbed.
Get on your knees.
Okay, in 2034, 10 years. It's what he did in 2004. 30 years since the FA.
Yeah.
Oh no, 2027. 20 years since the FA because 2007 is sent. He does Shadowplay. He's like, right, I'm gonna reward you all. You know, limited run.
He is the G.
Do you know what will
He's
be
God?
Yeah, he is God. But like, there's a premiere. You know, he runs it. He runs Kennel Mountain Film Festival. We're all there. We're sat. You know, to my left is Varian, to your right, Calf, and all of them. You know, we're all there for this thing. G walks
one night
like,
only.
One night only. Like, it's only those that see.
Okay.
It's only the people in this hall gets to see it.
Yeah. A fucking priest comes on stage. He blesses the room.
There's a beam of light.
Yeah, a beam of light shoots down and G appears. You know, in this case he's in the classic drip. He's in a DMM t-shirt, garish tight trousers, and some DMM original boot climbing.
The tight lycra, like.
Yes. Yeah. And then he's like, you know, my mother, you know, she found these. That's not that funny. She found this footage and she's gonna show it to you all. And on back to back, Kaizen, At the Heart of It All, Walk Away Sit, Violent New Breed, Il Parata, and then it finishes, you know, Shadow fucking Play is played.
Walk Away.
Walk Away Sitter, yeah.
Yeah.
All there.
Everything
that you'd done.
Yeah.
Gossip as well. Gossip. Box in the audience as well.
Well, firstly, I'd leak it and monetize it because I need some money.
Yeah.
Secondly, it proves he's done it. But that like thing is
dismantles Dan Varian's career.
Yeah, that is true. Although he still grades off of it, doesn't he?
Yeah, hits him the hardest, the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The G stuff's weird because you got to think if he did do it, everyone's just like shitting on him, but he like.
There's just no possibility, surely.
No, but like people. So there's that Blackpool Sam guy.
Oh God.
Right. No. Like I've done the deep dive into UKB. People have apparently seen this Blackpool Sam guy.
Sam Davenhall.
Sam Davenhall. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Sam Blackwell.
Yeah, no, not Sam
There's
Blackwell.
so many Sam
There's
Pryor,
too many
Sam,
Sams.
Sam Pratt, fucking
Sam Lawson.
Sam
Lawson.
Carlin, Sam Cattell.
Sam Cattell. Yeah, fucking none of them. It's Sam Davenhall from Blackpool.
Yeah, Sam Davenport from Blackpool.
The only Sam
not,
from Blackpool.
Not very known. I
Yeah.
think he has like 70 followers or something on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he's done the stuff he claims to have done, then he is one of the strongest people.
I just.
But
It's
people have apparently seen him do some of the Gaskins problems like to the last move. So it is believable that he's done some of the problems.
Well, he did the jump on Il Pirata in Tramo, which is one of the 8 Cs that Gaskins claimed to do. Where it's difficult for me to understand. Obviously, I've not climbed 8B+. You two have. Could you, either of you, imagine doing an 8B+ roof problem in a 15 kilo weighted vest when you already weigh 80 kilos?
Well, I don't weigh 80 kilos, so I can't.
Oh,
I
near
can't,
enough, mate.
God, body shape.
Yeah, that is actually insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. Like
That's what he said he did.
imagine
there
that-
are screenshots of the footage of him on the holds with his feet on. Actually, his feet aren't on the floor or anything. He's on the wall, and there's multiple screenshots of what looks like the same attempt
Yeah.
on his
Jesus.
Instagram.
Yeah, but
So-
like I feel like I could just pull on for a sec, get the frame, and then come back. Like,
yeah, but who would do like no?
Yeah, but
no one would
he's
go.
mad, he's mad.
Yeah, but he's got.
Yeah,
Like,
but who's the
70
photographer?
yeah, but
Yeah,
him.
no, it's him taking a picture of his footage that's playing back on his
Yeah.
computer.
Oh, okay.
But who would take the time out of their day to do that, especially when you've got a private Instagram?
Yeah, but you say that, but like this harpers back to the whole G thing in the beginning. Like, why?
That's why
if-
the G did his.
If
his
he
times.
did lie, like it's so elaborate. Like you're not. It's like if you tomorrow was like, oh, I've done this new 8B. Like
Yeah.
realistically, maybe us as mates would be like, oh, you might be lying. But like in the wider climbing sphere, he's probably not lying. But if you tomorrow was like, yeah, mate, I've climbed 9A
Yeah.
in South Wales somewhere, then it's like a fucking bigger deal. It's such an elaborate lie to keep. Like, why would you lie? about it?
But like, I wouldn't lie about doing a 9A.
Yeah, I'm not claiming that you're tomorrow going to do
like-
that, but like,
Fucking hell, Leo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God. Yeah, like, thing is, it was a different time as well. There's no footage.
yeah,
like,
yeah. I think
No
that
footage. That's the biggest thing, isn't it? It's like there's no no one filmed stuff back then. It's like because when did he do like the earlier stuff? Like it was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
late 2000s, because G did a lot of like Kaizen was in 2004,
Was it? Yeah.
and Sam was repeating it with the weight vest in 20. It was post Instagram because he uploaded it. It's 2012ish,
Yeah.
early 2010s, I suspect. So
Okay. Yeah, but like with the G, like he didn't seem like the kind of guy who was chasing sponsors or anything.
that's
Like,
why that's why it's so
like-
intriguing, though. Realistically,
Yeah, that's why I think that's why everyone cares so much about the Gaskins law, isn't it?
Well, what do you reckon?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
I don't know. Some people their heads work differently, don't they? They just are born to lie. They just chat shit, and then as soon as they've said it, they can't go back
Can't
on
undo
it.
Yeah.
Like the thing for me was the Frank Endurance story,
With Marcus Bach. And
Yeah.
Gossip, yeah,
and it's like,
but he's a controversial fella as well, so like
yeah.
yeah, but
I'm gonna back the UK man.
I think the thing about G is that he was evidently very strong. Like people did.
I mean, he's been seen doing Hubble, hasn't he? And stuff.
Yeah, but again, I asked Mooney about this, and he said that when he was on the belay, he would get his hips sucked into the wall. You get a really tight belay
Oh,
for the
yeah,
undercut.
Yeah, there's no slack.
Yeah. So and Jerry said if he takes that, he's a fucking bastard, and obviously he did. But again, there's footage of him doing anesthesia. I think it's the same thing with Simpson though, and all of these prolific liars. They're all quite good at climbing. They're just not good enough. I just think G, it's so interesting because if he's not lying, he's the best in the world. Like
ever. Yeah.
maybe like the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is an argument for that.
Yeah.
Not just of his time. Just
We've done a
forever.
classic monologue of the G.
Yeah. This is
The
a
G
fucking,
needs to be mentioned.
Yeah, every episode we'll get a different person's opinion on the G.
The American viewers need to know about the G.
Yeah.
We need a strong American to come over and try the G problems for us.
True.
Okay. Yeah, we'll circle back round, I guess, to like back to your sort of. What I'm gonna do is coin this as our like one of our new things to do on the show. It's essentially a piss take interview.
Okay.
Where we ask you about things and then just basically attempt to pick holes in them.
Oh no! You're gonna out me like the G.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Everybody's a liar.
No.
But so yeah, no. I guess like you played 8C, most prolific ascent being
Well, I've only done one 8C realistically.
Paradise Found.
Does that make him an 8C climber?
No, you got to do 3.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm not an 8C climber.
8B plus merchant.
8B
The
plus
question,
merchant.
the question is, if you do an 8C plus, would you then be able to call yourself an 8C climber? Or would you still have to call yourself an 8B plus climber?
Depends what
8C plus counts as 2 8Cs.
Nice.
Maybe.
So, yeah, you did Paradise Found.
Yeah, I did Paradise Found
3 years ago.
That was just before I moved to uni, so 2023. So like September 2023. It was quite mad that actually, 'cause I did that, I think like 3 days before coming to uni, and it's not near my house. It's like a 4-hour drive. I slept in my car, which is the Suzuki Swift, which whoever who's listening has a Suzuki Swift, you know it's a very, very small car.
I can't imagine there's a crossover between viewers listening to this podcast who own a Swift and have then slept in the Swift.
Yeah, so I slept in the Swift.
You slept in Taylor Swift?
In Taylor Swift. Allegedly.
We can't check this fact, unfortunately.
Don't Google this fact.
You know your like autocomplete. It's gonna be Leo Skinner slept with Taylor Swift after this.
That would be a crazy room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I slept in my car in my Suzuki Swift. I had a ladder and 5 pads in there somehow. I like folded down all the seats. I couldn't see out my left wing mirror when I was driving. It was pretty bad. And anyone knows the drive down to Heartland, it's pretty bad for the last like half an hour or whatever. Like it's back roads. You got to reverse if you meet someone. Yeah. It was not fun.
It's classic Cornish route, dear.
Yeah, it was like so fun as well. But usually I can see out my left wing mirror.
True.
Yeah.
True. That
It's
doesn't
a
help.
bit of an issue. I'd reversed into a bush many a time.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stayed down there. Woke up at like the tide was fucked. I remember I got up at like 5 a.m. I think I had like 2 hours.
Were you there with anyone?
No, by myself. So it's a good job my camera didn't die.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it would end up like the G. Yeah,
Are we sure it's not spliced together, this footage?
Some changes.
I like that idiot.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah, I managed to get that done, which was cool. There's I think there's a few question marks around the NHC, but everyone's taken HC that's done it. So
what is it? You two,
So it's-
Squire and Blackwell.
so Squire did the FA.
2022.
The question is though, so it was my first 8C. It was Leo's first 8C.
It's Blackwell's.
Blackwell's first 8C out of Biblin's.
Out of Biblins,
Yeah,
because he did that
'cause-
HC in Biblins that got.
And that's got downgraded to 8B plus by Mr. Bosey, didn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
and there was Johnny Kidd as well who suggested it was easier
Slash.
than the other one.
He
He took the old slash,
Yeah.
which means you're taking the AB plus realistically.
Yeah.
No one likes the slash grade.
Yeah. But we feel very strongly about the slash grades.
Yeah. It's not a grade, it's a fucking disagreement.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where it seems like I think if you take a slash grade,
You're
it's like-
copping out.
unless it's an FA. Even if you take
It's
an FA,
a
though,
cop out.
it is- it
Whatever
is a
you're
cop-
doing, it's a
yeah.
cop out.
What
It is a
about
cop-out.
the old V decimal points?
Oh, I love that. I love the decimal
The
points.
thing is, the V decimal points is a very good way of because you've got to compare boulders to when you're doing FAs. You got to like compare boulders,
Yeah.
or if you're doing like a second ascent or something where like no one else has done it, you got to compare boulders to it to gauge the difficulty. So the V decimal system is very good. So you'll be like. So we do use this quite a lot. Sorry,
Yeah, I use it a lot. I love it.
Yeah, because
Elliot Stevens told me about this.
did he?
Yeah,
was he the
was
first one?
Yeah, it was in Swiss.
In
And
Swiss.
I can't remember who he got it from, but I'm pretty
Is it
sure
Martin
some.
Keller or someone. I feel like
I'm-
he's the type of guy.
I'm
to use
pretty
it.
sure some famous climber uses it. I
Yeah.
can't remember who.
We can't.
I can't fact check that.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't know for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, the decimal point system pretty obvious. V13.0 is the bottom, and then V13.9 is the top, and then it goes to V14.
Yeah.
So you got V13.5 is in smack bang in the middle, and I prefer that because the issue I have with V13/V14 is
It's so open.
it can't be both of them. It's one or the other. It's either an apple or it's a fucking banana. It can't be half an apple and half a banana. Like pick one.
What if they inbreed?
Well, fuck.
Oh no.
But yeah,
Fucking hell, that's quite. You're gonna rouse some people up there. Step 1. Did you see you gave something A+/9B/9B+?
No,
that
what
just
was
means
that?
it's 9B.
What was that?
I can't remember, but I think it was he broke it whilst on the ascent or something, and he reclimbed the section afterwards.
And then gave it 3. What was the point in reclimbing it if he gave it 3 slash grades?
Don't know.
Kind of defies the point. doesn't it?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Because you can just guess the grade, and then if someone like corrects it,
Who cares?
If one person can't correct it, you need like a consensus on it. I feel like you need at least 5 people to actually fully know.
Your opinion on this, actually, you think is quite interesting. I think it's something that should be adopted more. Your opinion was that it should be based off the most recent ascensionists, which I think is quite.
Because I think if you've got Boulder that's like 20 years old, and then everyone's taken say AA for like a long period, but then the 6 most recent ascensionists, like if you've got a trend where obviously the most recent people have taken AA+, then it's probably AA+, because you got to think like something might have happened to the climb.
True.
Or people around the world or in this country or whatever that it's in, their perception on the grade has probably changed.
Yeah.
Because people have access to different training facilities over.
Also, people are better at different styles of climbing now than they were back then.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
People are a lot stronger, but
not necessarily as good. Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot in the sense that, for example, really technical style problems like we get on the Grit and in Northumberland, I think newer age climbers are going to find a lot harder, but stuff that in Switzerland, for example, that's really basic and board style is going to be deteriorated in grade, even though back in the day we had traditionally more technical climbers but weaker.
Yeah.
I think,
agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is
I think it just depends on the climber though, because I don't know, if you watch for example Jerry and Ben, it seems like Jerry's slightly worse at climbing, but definitely stronger.
Yeah, but that's for that time period as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's not just people back in the day were better, and then people have gotten stronger now.
No, they're also better.
That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying if you take 100 climbers now versus back then, I suspect they'd
more
be
more.
Yeah, but no, I'm not saying to the same level, but I'm saying if you had to rate them on technicality amongst themselves versus strength, I'm saying there'd be more people that are more strong than technical than back then.
Yeah, which it's kind of mad because you've got to think obviously you have access to more training, but you got to think people have got access to more indoor walls, so you're getting a wide variety of movement.
Yeah, but think about what these indoor walls are like. If you climb at the depot, you're not going to get really technically that good, are you?
I mean, you could.
I mean, yeah, but
no one climbs on slabs anymore, is it?
Yeah, maybe that's the issue. But I think overhanging technique is a lot different to slab technique. You can get a lot of slab climbers who are good on slabs, but then they get on an overhang and they don't know what to do, because it's different. Because I feel like when you're on a slab, you're pushing with your feet a lot more, whereas when you're on an overhang, you're pulling with your feet a lot more.
Do you think that's where you struggle on the slab?
Yeah, definitely. I'm bad at drilling into footholds. I feel like my feet are just weak and frail.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Bad workman blames his tools.
I was born with
body.
I was born with flat feet, to be fair. I use that as an excuse.
Nice,
Yeah.
good excuse.
Yeah. Where are your excuses, Si? Come on.
Oh, just weak.
Well,
Poverty.
Poverty.
I think another one as well that was a discussion we've had quite a few times is, although Paradise Found on paper is your highest ascent, you have traditionally said that Tempest in a Teapot, which is the low to an 8A+, and Mr. KD right here put up and gave 8B+. You reckon that is the hardest bit of climbing?
Yeah.
You think that's the hardest bit of climbing you've ever done?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's hard to know because I think I'm very good at some problems and absolutely shit at others. But to me, that's the most work I put into a boulder. Apart from Husafell, but But then Husafell's one of them weird ones where it's
we don't fit in the box.
You should probably explain what Husafell is.
So Husafell's it's not very well known boulder, is it? So Husafell's this 8B+ that got done by Elliot Stevens in Neath Abbey in South Wales. How long ago? Was it 6 years ago or something?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
It's in a sinkhole.
Yeah. Well, so that got done.
The difference between us, so me and Leo are pretty similar size and heights, where Elliot is definitely not the same body size as us.
A little bit short.
A little bit smaller. So there's this really tiny box that you get into and then have to get out that me and Leo just found absolutely horrendous. And like we're talking to Elliot about it, and he's like, mate, I was considering giving that 8B.
And we were just like, what?
We're considering upgrading it to 8C over it.
Yeah, because I remember because like we both took like 15 odd sessions on it. Didn't
It
we?
was absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and it was like my longest project at the time. Was it your longest project?
It was one of my longest projects at the time, for sure.
Yeah, but I remember we just, especially you, because I had to figure out a new beat for the middle section because my hands are too big. But I remember
Wild excuse.
the excuses again. I still got it done. But my beat is cooler as well.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I remember like you were especially falling off the same move
Over
at
and
the
over
end,
again.
just over and over again, every session. It was quite fun actually. It was quite fun seeing you rage.
Oh yeah, that was back.
Yeah,
in the rage
everyone loves a bit of
days.
rage.
I remember seeing the video actually.
Oh,
Like, did it you?
Yeah, I uploaded it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The go before I send, I'm literally like, if I don't do it, I'm literally gonna go kill myself. And then I do it.
Yeah, because you were getting angry, and then you just had that one go where you just kind of zenned out.
Wow, talk to Daddy Dave,
Daddy Dave.
and he was just like, oh, trust the process, enjoy the process.
Dave
Go on.
Mason, that is, by the way.
Daddy Dave Mason.
Yeah, he's
the
not his
legend.
actually.
He's not my actual
biological
dad.
father.
No, he's my coach, and he is. Yeah, it was made me get up it.
Yeah. How do you think like that stacks against like Tempest in terms?
So Tempest took me about the same amount of time. However, I think I was a lot better when I started trying Tempest.
Also, it suits you better.
Also, Tempest suits me more. Like I fit the butt. I think Tempest is easier if you're taller.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I'm really tall or anything, but I think I'm tall for a climber.
I mean, Mike Adams at the FA, like, it's got to be worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Adams was like 6'3" or
Of the
whatever, like.
stand, by the way.
Yeah, he did the FA of the stand, and then the sit start was done first by
KD.
Mr.
Oh,
KD.
yes.
Mr. KD.
Well, so it's really
But-
interesting actually because we have 2 out of the 3 has entered into this boulder, and
Yeah, so
the other one we're never gonna have on the podcast. So.
yeah, so for context, so Sorry did the FA. I was there when he did the FA. We tried it for like a few sessions, didn't we?
Yeah.
Together. He did the
I
FA.
actually thought Leo was going to do it before me.
Yeah.
This was the funny thing.
It was quite funny because I hadn't done the stand start yet.
Yeah, but he was
It was
looking
quite wet when we were
Yeah.
trying it.
He was looking stronger on the sit section, and I was like, well, I think Leo's going to do this before me. I better get it done rapido. And then yeah, you took some time on it, didn't you?
I did. Because I thought because you were like kind of nowhere near it.
Yeah.
And then you just went, oh, I'm going to go from the start, like you always fucking do. Which, like, it's quite cool to watch when you do this, but it's kind of annoying. But you just pull on, and then I swear you hadn't even done the crux move, and you just went from the start and then just got to the last move.
Yeah, I think it was something along those
Yeah,
lines.
and then you fell off, and then you just went, I'm going to do it next go. And I was
And
like,
then,
alright.
this was. I thought this was fucking jokes. I then decided, I'll just do the top move. So I got on a ladder, did the top move, reversed it down, and then did it again. I felt like an absolute hero.
Good job, it was just me there.
Yeah, and I didn't get it on film.
He's chatting shit. It's not real.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was nuts because then you did it the next go.
Yeah.
From the start. So you did it like pretty quick actually, even though you saw nowhere near it, and you just did it. And then I was then I did the stand like just after you did the sit, didn't I?
Yeah, like same session.
Yeah, same session. And then I was like, I'll go from the sit, and I did basically the whole sit in a oneer, I think, that day. Like almost. I think I like got into the undercut. But I
Yeah.
couldn't move out of it. And that's like almost 2 sections. And then I was like, this will go pretty quick. And then like I went down there. I think I went did a bunch of other stuff for like 2 or 3 months because that was in like February, wasn't it? And then I think I went with Magic Wood, and then I went North Wales and stuff, and did Isles, Wonder, Stand, and then I came back to it in the summer, and I was like, right, this will go because it's not like I think like it's not super condition dependent. As long as it's not in the sun, I think it's kind of okay, and it's not like a heat wave. And I was on it, and I just wasn't progressing at all. I would just like get to the same point every go, and I started going backwards on it for a while. And I tried it all summer. It was like a 2-hour drive, and a lot of the time I'd go there at night, so it wasn't in the sun. So I remember one time I I drove there, climbed. I think the tide was good, like midnight till 4.
Lovely.
In the morning. This is not PM. I get there, like climb by myself. I like haul 4 pads in a ladder or some bullshit. And I get there, I'm like climbing on it. I'm like, oh, the conditions are pretty good. And then like my shoulder would feel sore or something, so I wouldn't do it. And then I'd come back the next time and I'd feel good, but the conditions wouldn't be good. And that just kind of happened for a long time. And I was going there. I got back one time. I pulled into the drive of my house at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or something. And my mum was pulling out of the drive at the same time, taking my siblings to school.
That is some Martin Keller.
It was. It's unemployed activity. Because I wasn't at university at the time, and I was a freed man, so I could do whatever I want.
What are you on about? Being at university is the time when you are the freest man you're
in the first year, not the second. I've been tied down.
Was so pissed.
My second year was my hardest. It's been the easiest year this year.
Really? My third year was savage in comparison. Like, I remember for the first year there was we did it where we did a course every month, and I completed in one of these months I completed the whole course in a day. So then I had the rest of the month to do whatever the fuck I wanted, and it was probably the best time I've ever had.
Yeah, because I always used to go out with you and you'd just be free all day. Whereas like I'm in my second year now and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm free in the afternoon, but like. Yeah, that's it. And then it's just wet in the afternoon, so I can't do anything.
You are on a tragic placement.
I mean, I won't talk too much about the placement, but I'm basically just like training an AI model, so I'm just like drawing boxes around the swimmer, basically.
Yeah, that's great. But Matt, you were on about. I'm assuming you were going to transition into the grade debate of Tempest.
Well, I think it's potentially worth talking about in the sense that. Fundamentally, with all due respect to me and Solly here, we're never going to get Aiden on this podcast, so I can't have all 3 Ascensionists on there at the same time. But at the same time, I think it's almost worth valuable saying, like, you are semi-convinced that this is 8B+, and also, we should add the context of, you did Hell is Empty, All the Devils Are Here?
Yeah, so Aiden's 8B, like, he didn't give it 8B/+, he said it could be 8B or it could be 8B+ in his thing. I looked.
Is that not a slash play?
It might be a slash play.
Yeah, Bro's avoiding the hate there.
I mean, I don't think Aiden cares.
Bro gave it the 13.9.
Which is opposite Tempest. And so I did that last week, and I am currently having the issue of debating what grade it is because I have no clue.
I think it's 8B+.
8B or 8B+.
Pick a number between 13 and 14.
And the one issue I have, and the reason why I don't feel like I could give it 8B+, is because it's definitely not as hard as Tempest. It's not the same grade, and maybe if it to be fair to it, if it is 8B+, I think it would be like 14.2 or 3, so it'd be low end 8B+, whereas Tempest is 14.9. But I don't know what to give it because it's.
Yeah, it puts in an awkward because it can't be just like, oh, it's different here. That it's fucking like 10 meters away.
Yeah,
it's like it's not similar climbing from what I understand, but it's similar rock and like
it's the same rock.
It's the same rock. It's completely opposite climbing. Like Tempest is all slopers and this is all crimps undercuts. I mean, I guess it's the same. You're doing undercuts, but like for context for how close it was, me and a mate Kian went. And he was trying Tempest, and I was trying that, and we'd literally just move the pads over when one of us was having a go.
Literally within like 5 meters of the landing area of each boulder.
It's like a difficult comparison in the sense that
I tried. Was it the Hell is
Empty?
Hell is Empty.
We'll just call it Hell from now.
Yeah,
it's no disrespect to the boulder.
Yeah, so it's a bit long for my IQ.
I saw one of the comments on his thing was like putting the acronym, like, you know, BOD is for burn and drink. It's just like the length of the acronym was a name in itself.
Yeah, everyone's like, what is this sport? What is he on about?
Yeah, we'll call it various things. But
we'll call it Hell.
Hell.
Yeah, we'll call it Hell. So not Hell saying it's bad, but it is actually a really, really good boulder.
Yeah, it's
well good.
And it tops out, unlike Tempest. I think Tempest is better, but Tempest doesn't top out. So if not topping out's not your thing.
Yeah. Do you reckon you could mine a fucking hole up from the top of Tempest?
It's like a chimney. Just crawl up there like a Victorian era.
I remember some of my family lived on the Isle of Man for a while, and we went over and visited some of them there. And there's a jump in Peel, and it's like on this cliff face, and there's just a hole, like a tube in the rock, and they call it the Devil's Drop. And and you jump through this like tube, and you just like land in the ocean.
That's so sick.
Yeah. But yeah, back to fucking Tempest.
Yeah, back to Hell and Tempest. So I tried Hell before it got done by Aiden.
Yeah.
And I thought it was nails. I think like, don't use it as an excuse again, but I got big fingers in the but it felt really hard to me.
See, this is the thing I found though. I also found it really hard. So I had 4 sessions on it. The first 3 sessions, I could barely do any of the moves. On the 3rd session, I just about did each move individually, and then on the 4th session, I came and just did it in a couple goes, and it felt 7B. And it was just like, I can't compare this one session in comparison to the 3 other sessions I've had. It's just like, it feels like I'm climbing a totally different boulder.
I think my inherent thing is
that not just skill though? Is that not just the definition of skill?
Yeah, because it's what it's like on Grit, isn't it? Like people are like, oh, I had a fucking 30 session siege on this, and I did it, but when I did it, it felt piss.
Yeah, like you can't ignore like the other sessions you've had.
Because subconsciously you're going to be like, oh, I'll put my foot here rather than here, even if you're not thinking about it.
True. Very true.
I think
like most of the hard things I've done, you have to climb it perfectly to do it. So when you do it, it does feel easy.
To be very blunt, if fucking in a week Bozy went and did Tempest in a Teapot and he was like, I think this is 8C, would you disagree?
No.
Would you disagree?
So I would not disagree at all.
Leo wanted to give it the upgrade, and I was like, "Give it the upgrade, mate." I fully vouch for the upgrade, and then he pussied out. Which, to be fair to him, I feel like it's valid because you'd only done one.
Yeah, because at the time I'd only done 1 8C.
Still now.
Shut up.
This our guest, be nice.
Yeah, I might just storm off the pod, mate.
I'm in your house.
I'm in my house. This is in my house, by the way. I could kick you out.
Oh dear!
Yeah.
I'm gonna oh please no! I'm sorry. Tempest 8C.
But yeah, I mean, ignoring my washed form at the moment.
Because you weren't washed when you did that.
I was doing alright. Yeah, because I did that like Bewilderness, Rise and Fall, all that. So I mean, that's
a few sessions Bewilderness as well. Like, that's good going for that.
Yeah, I did Bewilderness in 2 sessions. 2 sessions, I think.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, Tempest is a lot harder than that. Also, one of the reasons why I think it might be 8C. But then, yeah, I don't know. It was weird because I like tried it so much the summer before. I think I had like 12 or 13 sessions, maybe even 14. I lost count, and then I went back to it the year after. Not even training for it specifically, really. And I went back to it, did it in 2 halves the first session, and then went back like a few days later and just did it. Kind of, I mean, obviously a lot more sessions than you had on Hell, but similar sort of thing where like you do it and it doesn't feel super hard. I did almost fuck up the last move though, and I kind of double dynoed it.
What a legend!
Yeah, kind of above like no pads. But my dad was actually supposed to come and spot me on it, and he got stuck in traffic, and he couldn't watch me do it. And I called him after I did it, and then he was like, "I'm just going to turn around and go back," because he was staying at some holiday cottage that was like 30 minutes down the road or something. So I stayed there.
Oh, nice!
When I did it, I think if I didn't stay there, I probably wouldn't have done it. I think the drive was taken out of me when I was doing it.
I mean, I think that's a valid thing.
Yeah.
The day I did Hell, it was a 5-hour journey for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you went on the
shit, you should probably tell them about this.
So the day I went and did it, so I mentioned earlier that my car broke down. It was actually not broken down. We've worked this out because it was the fuel gauge is wrong. And but so the car was in the garage, and I was like, well, I want to go try this, and I could get a lift from Swansea, but I live in a village on the outskirts of Newport, which is an hour walk away from the closest bus stop, which is then a 30-minute bus ride to Newport, and then you got to walk through Newport, which was scary because it's Newport. and then from once you've walked through Newport to the train station, I got a train that was another hour to Swansea, to then get a lift off my mate Kian to Newgale, which was another hour and a half drive. So all in all, it took me 5.5 hours to get there, and I did the boulder 3rd go in like half an hour.
Did you go back the same day, or did you sleep somewhere?
Oh, I slept in Swansea at the mates, but Yeah, it was
fucking keen. That.
Yeah, but like he also sent that day, which is pretty cool. Like, and he did it in a few goes, and so we went to this new spot that we found, which is actually pretty cool. However, like a river runs through it, basically like through the boulder, but holes around where the river runs, because obviously it's just been like the driest spell we've had in ages. It's like a month of just pure sun, and there's still water on this block, but the holes around the water, they're dry, so like you can just hold all these holds and do all these moves, and it's pretty cool until it turned dark and the midges came, because obviously there's a river running through it, and it was like, this is actually disgusting.
Are you gonna have to like manufacture something like a pallets getting them in? Dark art development, this isn't it?
Yeah. No, like the landing's actually well good, and the climb's really cool. What's scary is the crux is at the top, and there's quite like a big wall. And there's no way to rig a line up, because the slab, it's like a 20-meter slab above it, and so.
There's 40 meter ropes exist for a reason.
yeah. I wouldn't like to get on top of that slab though, but we have no idea if we can even rock onto the slab, because we can't see any of the holes, because it's like we haven't even.
But how could you not like put a line like just ab down it?
Potentially. We're too lazy though. We just like to climb. The movement on it is actually really good, like surprisingly good.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it comes down to the fact that, like, firstly, I'd like to say, like, during this, if I'm the judge of this grade court, I'd put it like that. Massive props to Aiden for actually fucking exploring the country and coming down to try all these boulders.
Yeah, because I didn't think anyone would come down to try it for a while. Because I remember like Sam Blackwell was supposed to try it, but his van like broke down or something. And then other than like. Yeah, him and Aiden, like no one's really come. I think Josh Ibbotson told me he tried it a little bit.
Yeah, apparently you went there.
Is he on the stand?
I think, yeah, I remember him saying, I was very drunk when I saw him actually, but I remember him possibly saying he did the stand. I'd imagine he did the stand because he's pretty good.
Yeah.
We were there, and there was actually, on the day that I did it, there was two other guys, like local boys, trying the stand of Tempest. And like, that boulder is really good, like the stand and the set, but... Yeah, it's miles away from anything. And anyone.
That's the only. I mean, there's two downsides. There's that, and then also because it is like fully West Wales. It's like to get to it, you need to just drive so far.
Yeah.
Like even for me, I live in South Wales, and it's like, well, not at the moment, but I used to when I did it, and it's a 2 hour and a bit drive. Away, which is not ideal.
Yeah. So I think like. Props to Aiden for fucking cracking on with it. Like, obviously, did he do it in a session?
He did do it in a session.
He is very, very good.
He is very, very good.
Like, I think it should be noted that he did Forgotten Gem in a few goes. Like it
wasn't almost flashed Jade. And that was ages ago.
He did it in a session, but it wasn't like he did it in a couple goes.
Yeah.
It was like he actually took an actual session.
He did say Stern 8B plus.
Also, I heard it was as hard as trance, even though I don't feel like
I think because I've been trying trance
or harder
since I became washed. And
do you want to tell them about your washed era?
My washed era. I mean, firstly, I'll close the chapter with Tempest and trance. So I think Tempest is just as hard as trance, maybe harder. Because I think Tempest suits me more.
Also, it's a tidal boulder. Like, Trance is literally dry. I think it's possibly even dry at the moment, and we went to 3 condensed peak line tracks today. Like,
Like, do you reckon that adds to the grade if it's
no, but
pain in the ass?
But I think subconsciously, if you're a developer and you go into Trance and half the time it's grim, like you're going to give it a higher grade. Like even if you're thinking about that, I think subconsciously you will. It's why generally stuff like that's harder to. It's why box therapy got given 8C+ for fucking 10 years.
It's interesting. Yeah, because I was debating giving Poseidon's 8C+, and part of that was because I was like, it's such a bastard to get dry.
The way
I mean, it's really good to get dry. Anyone should come and try it. It's
Please, America.
Please. It is very good actually. Poseidon's. It's just
footage is coming out at some point. I swear, it's been almost 3 years, but the footage is coming.
I just messaged me about it the other day. He was like, "Can you ask Solly when the footage is going to come out?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll soon, mate."
You just got to be good at dodging waves and maybe bring your speedos.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think subconsciously, yeah. So, would you agree with an upgrade?
I wouldn't disagree with
But you
that,
wouldn't propose one yourself, and it's the same with you.
Yeah, and then with me, like, retrospectively, I think it's probably 8C, but I genuinely... I haven't actually tried many 8Cs, so I don't actually, like, fully know.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have more of an idea. But then you did it really, like, quick, but it was, like, out of nowhere, so it's kind of a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I took
that boulder so bad as well.
Yeah, I think I took longer than I should have on it as well. So I'm not sure. Like, you never know whether you're just being a bit of a spoon. And you...
Needs more people. The issue though is that people
come try it.
People don't like to upgrade, whereas people will happily downgrade. So if I gave it 8C, people would happily come along and give it the 8B plus. But giving it 8B plus, people are way less likely to come over and say that.
I think. Firstly, I think Aiden kind of doesn't give a fuck about the grades. He's speculative.
The one person that does do this, and I respect, is Will Bosey will go and actually say what he thinks about the grade, which is actually really cool.
Yeah. I mean, he has the credibility there.
Yeah.
But he has he's done it all, hasn't he? Really, but yeah, I don't know. To be completely frank with you two, I don't think Will is rushing off to New Gales.
To Tempest.
What?
Really?
What if we give it the 8C?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's fucking 8Cs like in the peak. He's not done.
Yeah, could flash it.
Ooh, I think it'd be quite hard to flash.
It'd be hard to flash, but like, I don't know.
There's 8Cs that are within. Like there's
like, easier 8Cs.
There's
to
shit
flash.
Impossible Roof that is a lot easier to flash.
I don't think it's a bit impossible. It's hard, man.
Well, what about like God?
Yeah,
sign
but is it
language.
more basic?
If you can figure out where it goes, maybe sign language.
There's definitely a lot more 8Cs that are easy to flash. Or 8 plus. Not officially given Tempest.
I suspect Forgotten Gem will get flashed soon.
Can we give Tempest the slash?
No. That is one thing I will not condone. Anyone who goes and does it, you can either take 8B plus or you can take 8C. Anyone who gives it 8B plus /C.
Yeah, I think
you're on the chopping block.
You are on the chopping block. Literally, not figuratively.
Yeah. Solly's not going to come for anyone who's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on the pod though.
Yeah. Come on the pod. Yeah, discuss things. Maybe a few hands to throw.
I do suspect. Unfortunately, chaps, there aren't many like top level. What about Elliot?
Elliot's tried it. I think the issue is it's a lot harder if he's shorter.
Yeah, especially.
But he'd certainly possibly give it the C if he.
Well, I don't know.
Potentially.
Yeah, it's speculative. We'll ask him. Come on, Elliot. Yeah. We'll ask him.
I guess it's hard for him to know though, isn't it? Because it's like it's not really his sort of thing, and he's shorter, so it's harder.
Yeah.
I don't know, like someone that's else from like another part of the UK should come.
Tim.
Yeah,
Tim. Oh, he'd be.
But he just gives everything 8B.
But he'd give it 8B. He'd probably take the 8B plus.
You give it 8B.
Yeah.
Alex Moore maybe.
He's
pretty big.
I mean, just anyone. Isn't
Harry
it?
Conn.
Harry Conn. Oh mate, I'd love to show Harry Conn around Tempest.
Yeah, I think
Josh Ibbotson.
Yeah. If anyone wants to come try Tempest, let me or Solly know. Maybe we can.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
I've done everything.
The other thing
True.
The other thing I did want to ask you chaps is that me and Leo have talked about this a little bit. Often I think in climbing, especially recently, we have this like negative stigma in having rivalries and being competitive. But one thing Leo said quite a lot is you two have succeeded with a sort of almost friendly rivalry between a lot of you.
It's not friendly. It's not friendly.
It's on site.
It's on site, mate. Come on. Yeah. It is well needed, I think.
I agree. Some competition, a little bit of friendly competition.
Do you guys think you've like thrived and done better off that rivalry?
I mean, it goes to show since I moved away from Solly, I ain't done.
True. Next year's the year, mate. I'm going to be up there and you're going to be sending just because you want to do it more I do. No, rivalry. For me, I feel like I almost need a rival.
Yeah,
like,
you need it to like pull your finger out, don't you?
Since my main man.
Bromance.
The squirrel. So I left. I'm not the same.
Didn't you do 8C plus since you left?
You did foundations and like the shittest.
I definitely think rivalry, even not necessarily friendly, like just having someone to push you.
Yeah,
helps.
It's like Messi and Ronaldo, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need someone to push you further because like you might be good, but like you could always be better.
Yeah.
And you might be content with being good if you're better than everyone that's around you.
It's why people come to Sheffield, and it's why they get better while they're in Sheffield, is because there's lots of good climbers.
Well, apart from
Skindle.
Apart from me.
Yeah. Do you what would you say to it, Leo? Do you think like fundamentally like having that person to push you? Because in like I feel like for me like the way I consider this, obviously I don't have the same thing, but it's like in the back of your head it's like, oh, I might not train today, but it's like, oh, Solly's training today.
It's not that. Like I think training is like an individual thing, isn't it? But I think also training with people helps quite a lot. I think like a lot of like comp climbers have kind of used this in the past. Like, I don't think it actually matters as much like what you kind of like what your training plan is like. I think if you're just gonna obviously that can help like with certain flaws like in your climbing, but I think if you've got a lot of people to train with who are either better than you or as good as you or almost as good as you, but maybe better at different styles or something, you just have like a psyched group on the same bit of wall. Like everyone's going to improve probably.
Yeah. Do you think that more often to be not speculative? Do you think that's why like Alphane got done so quickly with so many people? Is because there was like a very large group of them all were really good. And
if you've got like a big
100%
group of people working something, you're gonna like figure out like better beta together. You're gonna like be more efficient with your goes. Like you can share ideas. It might be more fun because like I don't know if you've experienced it before where you climb by yourself and you're just a bit 100%. Like in your head. But that also can be. It also can be.
I think there's time and place for that. Like I find where like the first few sessions on a project, or not necessarily first few, but like some of the sessions on a project, you want to be by yourself, where you're like, I'm just trying to work this out in my own head with no distractions or no one else there. Yeah. But like when you want to send it, you're like, oh, I want a crew, I want a vibe, I want the boys there, like.
Yeah. Like to execute is different as opposed to like I need to think.
I think like having someone to bring yourself out of your own head can be very helpful. Like if you're like in your own head, you've fallen off the last move a bunch or something.
True.
You know, like you need a few people to talk you out a bit. Like I don't know, start piss taking, slagging someone off.
But I think both of us have done that with him. Like with Leo quite a lot. Like. In the sense that you have that quite a bit, and I think it not that I'm ever a competitive rival to you. I'm not a climbing at least, but
ladies on the other hand,
you're tied down.
But I think I do think it's certainly a positive thing. But I think what's interesting is that, especially recently, like competitive rivals like that, like a lot of them are seen as inherently negative and inherently shut down quite quickly. Because I think, to be very speculative here and fully allegedly, I know they denied this on Careless Talk. I think in the back of the mind of like Will and Aidan is a bit of competitiveness.
There's got to be,
for sure.
surely.
Yeah,
I think they're chatting shit when they're saying that there's no competitive nature.
It's going to be a little bit at least.
You've got to like fundamentally, it's two people who at the time both lived in Sheffield and were both like very gunning for the top spot. You know, Will repeated Aidan's like masterpiece Isles of Wonder Boulder, and you know, sorry mate, gave it that downgrade again to you, but like I think at the back of their mind certainly there was a bit of that competitive edge with it.
Yeah. Like, is that why he gave it the downgrade?
Ooh, yeah, that could be a reason. That could also affect,
I don't know.
That could affect grading as well.
Yeah.
You know, that could affect grading, like for sure. Actually, like if there's someone that I don't know, you're in a competitive rivalry against, and they can't do it.
To one up someone is doing their boulder and saying it's easier than they.
It's like it's very British.
That is a very British.
It's kind of one of the problems.
All alleged. No fact checking has been involved so far.
Yeah, but I think it is one of the big problems with British climbing.
Yeah, I agree, but I would suspect now if you were to go to Bosie, like, do you think it's like really 80 plus? And he went about to try it now. I don't know if he'd give it.
You don't think he'd give it 8C or 80 plus?
What is he like? What 8C pluses? He's repeated 1 or 2 8C pluses ever. Yeah. Like,
but he's done 5 9As.
I know he's done.
No, I think he's done more than that. He's done. I mean, depends.
Depends
what you class Sleepwalker as.
Well, Sleepwalker gave 15.
He's an IFRA.
Yeah, and that's debatably even 16.
Isles.
The thing is, he said it was harder than
he did that. Oh, that's an FA.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot.
We can realistically only speculate, but I certainly
unless he wants to come on the pod and we can discuss it.
We did see him today out the car window.
Out the car window. Yeah.
Leo flipped him off.
not just Bozy. There was a whole group of people. I knew most of them. You know, cheeky middle.
The ones who didn't know.
Oh, I guess. Oh, should we talk about our escapades today?
Yeah.
Our escapades today was quite a funny little adventure. So
just to give context to this before Leo explains it, Solly is down for. Do you want to talk about why? You don't have to.
No, we won't talk about why.
But basically, Solly's down in Sheffield. Me and Leo obviously
up in Sheffield.
I suppose up, yeah.
Up
Up in Sheffield, and we had a little bit of a peak lime escapade before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we thought we'd show him about. So like we thought we'd do a little tour of the crags. We were going to go to Crag X.
Me and Leo had this planned originally.
Yeah, we had this plan. Me and Matt were going to go to Crag X. I wanted to try Superman sit. He wanted to try Jason's.
Yeah, Jason. For fucking hell, like.
But the skin situation was a bit tragic. But we were psyched, you know, as we kind of always are. I mean, I haven't been as psyched as of late. But I was pretty psyched. I was psyched today.
Yeah, we didn't get.
We got there.
We didn't get to Essex yesterday, so like.
That's true. Yeah, we had a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
We were gonna go. I've been ordered to do 2 days on per week.
Shout out Cam Hartley.
Yeah, shout out Cam Hartley, my coach.
He listens to these, you know.
Does he
actually?
Yeah, I texted him the other day, being like, "Oh, I listen to your podcast."
My God, yeah. So I'm on 2 days on climbing for the next like 2 or 3 weeks, to see what's going on because I've been climbing a bit bad lately. However, I was psyched for today, the second day of the week climbing.
Yeah.
Last day of the week, so I had to like make the most of it. Get out.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday. So we get out. You know, we go to Crag X. It was raining the night before, but the day before it was apparently dry.
It was raining on the way to the crag.
It was raining on the way to the crag, but the skies kind of lit up. It looked all nice. It was blue, nothing but blue skies.
G was shining down.
The G was shining. Yeah, the beam of light was there. Yeah. We get to the crag. You know, we walk in. The floor's a bit wet, but we're like, it's limestone. It'll be fine. Get there. It's gopping wet.
I look up
dry.
You look dry.
It looked dry.
It was just condensed to fuck.
It was condensed to fuck. So then we were like, where can we go? Oh, we'll go to Raven Tour. So we drive to Raven Tour. Parking's completely full, and the parking there's a bit of a mission. Like,
bearing in mind, when we arrive at Raven Tour, Billy, Nathan, Bozy, and Finn,
Sam
Blackwell. Blackwell, and Finn Bin, who's fucking 5 meters that way. We're all there. And we drive past and it was like the mental asylum had arrived.
Yeah, you got this like big wad crew trying Bozy's new 9.8 and we drive past. I've got some like goofy sunglasses on. Like we drive past some loud music on and they all make eye contact with us and we're just like, hello. We just
drive off.
We drive off. We can't find any parking. We spin around, drive back past the crag, make eye contact with them again. Can't find any more parking, so we checked out Blackwell Dale, which is another peak lime crag.
Yeah. Recently, actually, it's to be clear, there's been quite a lot of shit done there because there's Bozy repeated Barrows' 8C there, Pretense of Youth, and then there's been a bit of development there, and also a hold has come off and then been re-glued on, which is quite interesting to see. And then and we showed Solly the best 7C in the peak.
Yeah, 3 stars.
Yeah. Any holes a goal?
Banger.
It was a pretty good hole.
Yeah. Christ, I can't wait for me to clip that.
It was a pretty good hole.
Yeah.
And then
that was wet.
That was wet.
Nice.
Nice. For you Americans or international people, please Google Blackwell Dale. More so Dave Mason's footage of Mortal Immortal where 6 cars go past. And you can see how the proximity to this crag to the road. When you think roadside, fucking hell. Yeah, so please Google that. But yeah, and then Leo, you can...
I can continue.
Where do we go next?
So, yeah, we go to that absolute beast of a crag.
The Wave.
We're at Blackwell Dale. It was all wet again. Then we continue on to the Wave, which is just up the road.
Where we obviously got some controversy from the other week's
the last podcast. You boys got in a bit of trouble.
So yeah, we thought we'd better go scope what actually was the case there.
Yeah.
And there is no concrete on the holds.
Well, I think for this week we'll leave it. There's no concrete on the holds.
Yeah.
We apologise for that.
Yeah.
There's stuff there, but like we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
But walk into the wave.
Yeah,
it's a slip and slide at the moment.
Yeah, the walk into wave was quite funny because obviously it's been raining, so the ground was a bit wet.
Yeah.
And we almost died getting up and down.
Yeah.
And the crag was wet, basically. It was kind of dry. It was drier than Crag X, but it was not.
It was the driest crag we went to out of the three.
Yeah,
that's true.
Aside from the tour, I guess.
But we didn't actually go on.
But yeah, I think it's worth noting. Are you excited to move to Sheffield for the
Oh,
limestone?
I can't wait.
For the limestone?
Yeah, just for the limestone. Like, fuck the grit off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I am ecstatic. I'm sure you
what's
can
your-
hear
what-
it in my tone of my voice.
What
how
is your
excited
favourite?
I am.
What is your favourite lime crag currently?
What was actually the
in
best
the
one you
Keys?
went to?
what's the
I
favourite?
think the actual best one is probably Badger Cove.
What would be next? Would it be the wave?
Yeah, out of the ones we visited
It's
today.
better go on, wave that over Crag X. Me and Leo are big Crag X haters.
Oh, what was your?
Beat the fuck out of you if you don't say.
Go ahead.
I love how
say
he's giving an
Blackmore
opinion
now.
on something he could give less of a fuck about.
Tolly gives no shit.
I'll go Blackwell Dale at number 2.
Oh,
He
controversial.
didn't even see Griff.
Damn.
He didn't even
That
see
was
Griff.
bottom of my list. Oh shit.
Then the tour. Then. Oh,
Then
wave.
the tour.
Then the tour.
And then the wave.
Then the wave. Then the.
Then Crag X bottom.
And then Lee's. Where's Lee's?
Oh no, Lee's is probably above all of them other than
Oh.
Badger.
Oh shit.
God, we need
Damn.
to get like.
Controversial.
I've just done that in alphabetical order,
When-
by the way.
when Austin Hoyt comes on this podcast.
God.
And we're like-
Austin Hoyt, the
yeah.
goat. I can't wait for him to go on this podcast.
Is he
Yeah.
actually coming on?
He said he's keen. He said
Declare
he's
his love for the line.
We haven't fact checked that, just so we're aware.
But Austin Hoyt is, a few messages have been sent.
Yeah.
We've heard he's more
He's
keen for the line.
for the line, which is crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. I wish I was keen for the line.
I think you should reconsider your thought processes, Austin.
Nah,
but,
it's cool. It's cool to see him lit up by the Choss.
yes.
all you can say.
Crazy. I think, to bring it back to the Skinner interview as well.
Oh, yeah, we didn't really do that.
Yeah, we haven't really done much of it.
flamed
Fuck
him.
it. Well, but the other thing as well is like you're pretty fucking good when you're a wee lad, weren't you? As well, young kid.
I was a wee lad.
We actually recently I discovered this is when Spike Forward did Superman. We were looking for who was the youngest 8B Ascensionist, and Leo was the second youngest 8B Ascensionist in Britain by 1 day for 10 years. Ty was 1 day younger when he did, I think,
The Ace.
Yeah, than Leo when he did Louis Left. So Leo, unbeknownst to
That's
him,
so
was
jokes.
1 day older than Ty.
Yeah.
Do you like? How
How
were
do you feel
when
about
you were
that?
young?
Yeah.
How do I feel? Well, I almost did it when I was 13.
Yeah.
That's
well, you
insane.
didn't fucking, did you?
Oh, yeah. Almost doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, I think when I was 13, it was still 8A.
Yeah.
The classic Liam Fife grading. Like for context, it originally got like 7C plus / 8A.
That is insane.
And then now it's 8B, which I mean after
Consensus AB.
doing like,
as well.
like now after doing quite a few 8Bs, I think it's definitely 8B as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a soft one.
Yeah, it's not like super soft, is it? It's like
No, even like Arlo did it the other day with a bunch of knee bars, and he still took 8B. And normally that man finds a shit ton of knee bars
He
and
doesn't
gives
like
it
a
the,
knee bar or a
downgrade.
drop
This
knee.
one on the moon board is fucking crazy.
yeah, knee bar on the moon ball is nuts. Yeah.
I think I don't know. You were,
I used to be alright. Like when I was younger, I started off like I just climbed for fun, and then I figured out I was alright at it. Kind of dropped everything I was doing. Like I was good at football, and like a few other things.
yeah.
And
You're
then
on British team as well.
I like did a few hard things outside, but I didn't know they were hard at the time. They were just like near to my house ish.
Yeah.
So like, I used to climb at Dinas Rock a lot. I say a lot. I'd go there like I don't know, like once a month or something, maybe like 2 times a month. But yeah, I used to go there a bit. Did like V10 when I was young, or 70 plus, and then when I was 13, did my first 8A, and then I did my first bouldering competition and my first lead, like solely lead comp as well. Because I used to do the YCS before that, but
Oh mate, the YCS was banging.
the YCS was annoying though. It was fun, but it was also like the scoring system was a bit messed up because the bouldering just accounted to absolutely nothing.
No, the bouldering was kind of like a tiebreaker for whoever won the lead. If everyone topped the lead, it was like, oh, you won the bouldering.
Yeah, because it was 3 points per hold for the lead, and then it was 1 point per hold for the bouldering.
Well, it was so for the whole route for a route it was 100 points. For a boulder, it was 60 points.
Yeah,
that was the way.
But it's like if you get 1 hold further on a route, it's 3 points. If you get 1 hold on a boulder, it's 1 point.
Yeah.
But that just makes no sense because it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
So like, if you're a boulderer, you're just fucked basically. So I never did super well in that. But then I thought I'd try like the Youth Open Bouldering Championships. Won that, so like the British Championships in bouldering, and then the same year got into the British team. And then I just dropped everything else I was doing. Did comps for a bit. Still climbed outdoors a little bit, progressed through the grades a bit, but I didn't climb outdoors anywhere near as much as I used to. And then when I was like 16 odd, was kind of hoping I'd kind of keep doing comps because that's what I trained for the past few years. Then I got mysteriously kicked out of the British team during the lockdown for COVID. For mysteriously, no reason given. Yeah, I'm not going to really say much anymore about that. I should have been selected, but I wasn't, basically. And I was kind of distraught about that. Didn't really climb much over the next 5 months or something. And then kind of got back into it, was terrible for a little bit, and then kind of got back into it. And then I learned how to drive, and then I got way back into it and actually made some friends to climb with. Because before,
climbing friends.
climbing friends. Oh shit! All the British people know that one, and the Americans maybe not so much.
Good, they can have it. They can be fucked up with that one.
If you don't know it, get to know.
Yeah.
In between us, check that out if you haven't watched it.
Not the American one.
Yeah, not the American, not the American one. The British version of the In Between Us. Yeah. So I did that. Because before that, I climbed with my dad basically all the time, apart from when I went to GB training and stuff. I'm like my dad, and then learned how to drive. Made a few mates, in the South Wales scene. Solly moved up around the same time.
Oh yes.
Started climbing with Mr. Solomon, and I just kind of started getting out, and then went to Switzerland, did a few 8Bs in Magic Wood, which I just didn't expect to do. I thought I was just going to be projecting 8As, because that's kind of what I was doing in my local area. But then I got back, and then suddenly I was just doing loads of harder stuff, and I just realised
got good, kid.
I did just get good.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around, though, because you're shit now.
Yeah. I've come full circle, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was good for a bit, and then came to uni. Did alright at uni in the first year, and then the second year's kind of gone horrendous.
What do you think's on for the future then, though? Because I think you're keen for Isles Sit, and then
I've had some big goals. I wanted to do. I got really close to this 8C called Trance at Badger Cove last year. Fell off the last move like a bunch, which isn't supposed to be that hard of a move, really. And then came back to it this year. Thought I'd do it, but I got ill at the start of the year. Went piss weak for a while. I actually couldn't do more than 2 or 3 pull-ups for ages. Actually, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but have you ever experienced just being super ill and you can't do anything, and you just don't recover from it for
I got
ages?
glandular fever in my. It must have been the end of my second year of uni, because I'm in third year at the moment, and yeah, that was fucking bad. I mean, I didn't climb for it was when I was on my plan actually with Cam, and I was fucked, and I had to have a trail back into it. No, not really that.
Yeah, but yeah, it lingered with me for a while. I was so weak for ages, and then I managed to get kind of back into form a little bit before that Magic Wood trip we went on.
Yeah, we went to Magic, me and Leo and a few others, Wheeler and Adam and John and Harry and Joachim all went to Magic. Am I missing anyone there? No,
I think that's it.
Harry. Yeah. We all went to Magic Wood, and it was
a weird trip. It was supposed to rain the whole time. It didn't rain the whole time, but it rained quite a lot, and it was also just really humid.
It was bad cons in the forest.
Bad cons. I didn't climb super well. Couldn't really tell if it was the conditions or just me. And then I've come back from the trip and just kind of not been that good.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. You of course put quite a lot of time to Isles Sit. which is 80 plus up in the Ogwen, as we've talked about a lot on this podcast because Solly did it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of my main goal for last year. Didn't do it. Wanted to come back to it this year, but I mean, it's still one of the goals for the year. But I just want to get back into form basically before I try it.
And then next year, hopefully, the big trip.
Oh, the Rockland trip.
Rockland.
Yeah.
Because, Mr. KD here on the show had a fucking tragic time in Rockland.
We come back with for revenge, like. Hopefully pick a month that doesn't rain 28 out of the 30 days.
28 out of 30.
I can't remember the exact amount, but it's something
I remember
stupid.
you saying it was 3 days.
We had 3 days at the end of the trip where it didn't rain, and there was a few days here and there throughout the trip, but in those days it still rained at some point, kind of thing. So it was raining almost every day other than the last 3 days of the trip, and I basically did all my boulders in the last 3 days of the trip. And it was fucked.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
But hopefully it's not like that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we go, and of course we'll make a video out of it. But,
if anyone else is there, if you want to
let
link
us
up.
know,
Yeah. Next year.
Next year. Yeah, any year's time.
Yeah.
Anyone remembers this from next year when we're in South Africa and you're in South Africa, we will do a podcast with you.
Yeah, it's actually more than a year away because we're in May now. We're into June. But, June, July. But yeah, cool. We're at an hour and a half, so yeah. Well, we do actually have one more thing. We've got a scratch card in the letterbox.
Oh
shit! We've got the coin.
It's alright.
Bloody hell.
Where's
Right, Leo, as our guest on the show,
am I going to do the scratchy?
I mean, it is his house as well.
Yeah.
Shit, it is my house.
What is it for?
I don't know.
Wait, that's where we're going to see Queens of the Stone Age, Don Valley Bowl.
Don Valley Bowl.
Yeah, at the top.
Shit, I've actually never
Sausage cider.
never
fest.
done a scratchy. So
Oh,
I don't
You've
know.
never done a scratchy?
Never,
Oh.
nah.
Second place. 50% off.
Of what?
Off.
What's it off?
Enter promo code to claim.
Oh, damn.
Don't say the promo code out loud.
The promo code is.
Has it already happened? The 8th of June? No, it's not happened.
No, it came through the door earlier.
Oh, should we give this to anyone that?
Yes, we do a giveaway.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a giveaway for anyone who made
so
it this
generous.
far. You can have 50% off
Promo code.
with the promo code second place, which is 2NDPLACE, all capital letters, obviously.
At sausage and ciderfest.co.uk
Or summerinnashville.com/win.
Oh.
And use the code at checkout.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Damn.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode, though. For those of you who made it through, congratulations. Well, I assume we'll probably have Leo back on the show again.
At some point.
Yeah, if I do something interesting,
I don't even think that.
Once he's not washed anymore.
Yeah,
we'll
once
get
I
him
start
back.
climbing well.
Yeah, we'll probably have a topic at some point that we're keen on. But yeah, we're getting back into things. I think hopefully, we're going to go for like a sort of every week if we can be arsed sort of ordeal.
try to.
But yeah, we'll see if we have the time. We might do a few weeks off actually. Now thinking about it, because I'm away for 3 weeks in June. But you can do it on your own actually.
I'll do it on my own,
It's
God.
schizophrenic
If you
ramble.
cut, I'll do it.
So yeah.
Can we do one next week? Can we get